Plants are amazing. They have this process called photosynthesis where they take water and carbon dioxide and combine them to store the sun's energy in the form of sugar. And as an added byproduct, they even produce oxygen. Let's take a look at all those different parts. First up, water.
Water's pretty amazing stuff. It can be solid ice, it can be liquid water, or it can even evaporate into water vapor, which is invisible in the air, just like this. It can become clouds or fog, and then it can come down as rain or snow. You can find it in a swimming pool, or in a creek or a river, just like this one. You can find it in lakes, like here at Clear Lake, or in the estuary, like here at Morro Bay. And the saltwater oceans are teeming with life.
Next up, let's look at carbon dioxide. Here's a carbon dioxide cylinder for making soda.
So we can screw this into our soda stream machine here. It squirts it into the water and makes a nice fizzy drink for us.
Here's another way to make carbon dioxide using baking soda and vinegar, the same ingredients as that classic build your own volcano experiment. Let's see what happens when we mix them together. Here's some frozen carbon dioxide known as dry ice from the grocery store. Let's take a hammer and chip a piece off.
There we go. Water vapor in the air kind of condensing into clouds around it. It's very, very cold. Let's see. Here's our thermometer here. Let's see how cold it actually is. Minus 30, almost minus 32, 33 degrees, 34 degrees. Wow, that's pretty cold.
So we're going to seal some in a Ziploc bag, and you can see how it changes directly from a solid into a gas. It's called sublimation. Watch what happens when we pour out this cup of carbon dioxide. Next up, let's see if we can find evidence that energy comes from sunlight.
Here's an old solar-powered floodlight that I found, and what I thought we'd do is we'd take it apart and see what's going on inside here. So here's the solar panel right here that gets the energy from the sun. Let's see. Inside here we have a battery to store the electricity for when it's dark. It can come on in the dark. So let's pop that out. And what we're going to do is we're going to add some extra wires right here and here so we can connect it to some other stuff. Here's the other one. So here's my solar panel that I took off and borrowed for a minute.
Watch what happens when we clip these wires from the solar panel onto this little LED light. And then watch again as we cover and uncover the solar panel. The big solar panels you see on roofs are just lots of tiny little ones connected together. Alright, next up, let's look at how much energy is actually stored in the sugar. Here we have more complex sugars like the corn syrup in the marshmallow and the cellulose in the wood releasing their energy as they burn.
Here we have a coffee can with a candle and a pipe with some powdered sugar. Watch what happens when I blow down the other end of the pipe.
Lastly, let's talk a little bit about oxygen.
Because you can't see air, you have to look for other evidence that it's there. It wasn't until the late 1700s that a guy named Joseph Priestley discovered there was oxygen in air. Now let's take a look at what we now know air is made of.
So we now know that it's about 78% nitrogen, it's about 21% oxygen, which is what we need, a little bit of argon, just less than 1%, and only about 400 parts per million, this little black line at the top, is carbon dioxide that plants can use for photosynthesis.